Okay, today we're discussing issues concerning long-term care for older Americans. Joining me today is Paul Stano, Parma Heights lawyer, who specializes in elder law. Let's talk a bit about this. You started off as an estate attorney, but then you moved into elder law. Why?
Well, during the late 90s, we saw more and more clients concerned about the cost of long-term care. It no longer was, how can I avoid probate, but what happens now if I have to go to a nursing home or assisted living facility? And the costs of that type of an institution have gone up dramatically. We focus now primarily on accessing the government programs that pay for long-term care and assisting our clients in developing plans to be able to qualify for those programs. So rather than just doing probates of estates or writing planning documents, now we've taken a step further and we're doing what we call life care plans.
Paul, you recently published a book, Alzheimer's Survival Guide, 7 Secrets of Estate Planning for People with Memory Loss and Dementia. This is a very tough subject to deal with. How should people go ahead to start doing these plans?
As far as planning, the first step you obviously want to take is to have planning documents in place. And you want to sign them as soon as possible so competency is no longer an issue. So the key document, though, for us is the power of attorney. If you can't do it, at least you may have a son or daughter now that would be able to carry out your wishes. The next step in the plan is going to be what steps are you going to take now to try to look at what assets are we going to retain? Are we going to perhaps do some gifting if that's appropriate? And again, each situation could be a little different as to ultimately what they do.
Okay. The clients that come into your office, what are their major questions or concerns they bring to you?
Most of our clients are what we call in crisis, which means they are in an assisted living facility or a nursing home or going to be heading there within 3 months. And they believe that it's too late, that they can't do anything, and that's just not the case. So our goal is to relieve anxiety and bring hope. So that we're going to be able to tell them there are some steps you can take in order to be able to not utilize all of your assets and leave your spouse perhaps impoverished. Because when you retired, you fully expected to enjoy your retirement, you knew how much income you're going to have, and this really throws a curveball into many of those plans.
What are some things people don't really know about Medicaid that could help them?
Well, the first thing that they want to understand is the difference between Medicare and Medicaid. Medicare is for skilled services, and it is usually a limited program that can cover up to 100 days, but you're not guaranteed those 100 days. After that, if you have the ability to financially, you can access Medicaid, and Medicaid is probably the #1 provider for long-term care on an ongoing basis in the state of Ohio. And that program has basically an income and an asset ceiling in order to participate. And the ceilings will be different depending on whether you're single or married. The secondary program, which we kind of look at as the diamond in the rough, is a VA program called Aid and Attendance.
Well, that was going to be my next question. Veterans have a lot to work with here. They probably don't know much about their VA benefits for this, do they?
Well, the VA program that we're looking at primarily, again, for assisted living is the Aid and Attendance program, and it's a non-service disability pension, which means you didn't have to be injured during your service time, but you had to be a wartime veteran, either World War II, Korea. There may be some Vietnam coming up, but if you did serve during that time period, there may be a hidden benefit that you aren't aware of. One of the key qualifications is your medical expenses have to be larger than your income.
Let's talk a bit about your book, the Alzheimer's Survival Guide. When people read this, what do you want them to take away from this?
Well, that book is designed for someone that is trying to do some planning. They want to see what options they have available. And one chapter in there I particularly would call people's attention to is about the reverse mortgage. The reverse mortgage basically was designed by Congress for elders. You have to be over 62 to get it. And the key benefit there is there's no monthly payment. And that now allows you to access the equity in your home. That, I think, would be one of the key issues, and of course we talk about all the pieces in the book, estate planning, the government programs that are available, and kind of the mindset that you want to have.
How can they get a hold of this book?
Well, it's available on our website, which is www.stanolaw.com, and they can order it. We don't charge anything for it, but we do ask you to make a contribution to the Alzheimer's Association so that they can, again, continue the work that they do to perhaps find a cure one day for that particular disease.
Paul Stano, thank you very much. Good work you're doing.
Well, Dan, I had no idea what's involved in planning for a loved one.
Yeah, Kelly, it's really it's very serious, and a lot of people don't realize. You should probably check out with a lawyer that practices elder law. It's a brand new practice.
That's right, and it's never too early to start preparing for your loved one's needs in the future.
All right, well, let's continue on this road, Kelly, but we got to take a break. We'll be right back.